Alright, hey guys. So I told you I was going to work on GraphQL subscriptions, but something important came up. So we're going to be diverging from that just for today. We'll come back to it tomorrow. What I need to do is make a email bot that basically spam emails. So to do this, we're going to be using Jaap mail here. Basically, it gives us a random email. We can refresh here and you'll see how you get a different email. And I can just keep doing this, right? And I'll get a new email. So my plan is to make a bot. What it does is it goes to this web page, right? Gets this email, clicks check mails, and I can come here and I can write an email. Backstory of why I need this is basically parking got really bad at my apartments, and so I was basically told I can email this one guy, and if enough people email him, parking should get better. So, and it's okay to make a bot, they said, to spam email them. So that's what we're going to do. To help us with this, we're going to be using Nightmare. This is something like Phantom.js, if you've heard of it. Basically, it lets you control the browser. So I can go to, what we're going to do is actually go to the site and navigate using Nightmare, which is pretty cool. So let's get started. Let's try this guy out. So I'm just going to get started with Nightmare. I have just a blank project here. Random folder, and I'm just going to say npm init to start up the project. I'm going to keep the defaults, and then I want to install this. I believe it's just called Nightmare. Okay, yeah. So I'm going to say yarn. I'm going to use yarn instead of npm yarn add Nightmare. And if you'll notice, they're using yield, so we're going to need Babel node for this. So I'm going to go ahead and install this. And then to use this yield syntax, I can't just use node. I need to use Babel node. Will allow us to access that. So when this is done, what I'm going to do is as a dev dependency, I'm going to install Babel CLI, which will allow us to run Babel node. And then we can get the specific stage 2 and the latest of Babel to help us with this. So, and I can open in a new browser or new tab, and I believe I can do this at the same time since one's a dev dependency, and it shouldn't be a problem. I'm not sure what this is doing, but I'll show you what I'm doing with Babel. So here it is. If you didn't want to use the yield syntax, you could just use node. And I'm going to go ahead and copy this and create over here a index.js file. And we'll paste this in. And we're just going to run the hello world and get that working. I don't have ESLint set up for this project. Yeah, I kind of want to set up ESLint so it's nicely formatted. So I'm going to be using the Babel CLI, so we just need to run this to get that. So I'm going to say yarn add dev Babel CLI, and then also Babel stage latest and Babel stage, I think it's 2. Actually I think it's called preset. I actually don't remember what it's called, but if you go to Babel latest preset, it'll tell us what you type. I can't quite remember what it is. The package that we need. There we go. And I do know the other one is called stage 2. So Babel preset stage 2. So now, what was the warning? We're really excited that you're trying to use ES syntax, but instead of making more usually presets, Babel is a preset that we recommend instead. npm install preset env. Oh, I actually have never tried this before. I'm gonna give that a try later and see what that's about. But anyway, so now I need to create a Babel rc dot Babel rc, and I'm gonna say latest, which is what we just installed, and also stage 2. And now I'm going to save this. Doesn't like the yield syntax. Oh, because prettier. So we just need to set up ESLint So when this is done installing, what I can do is I can say ESLint init, and then we can set up, and actually we can go through the options. So I'm going to use a popular one because I really like Airbnb. I'm not using React, and I want to wait to say that before this is done because I don't want them to install at the same time. I know it is done. I just didn't scroll to the bottom. Okay. JavaScript. I'll let that install. So when this is done, what we're going to do is actually, instead of Yahoo, we're going to put Jaap mail. And I actually haven't tried sending anything from this to make sure it works, so I really hope it works, or else that would suck. There's one other thing that I wanted to do. Oh yes, it was with Nightmare. So by default, I believe it doesn't show the browser. They should have a documentation here. There we go. So when you run Nightmare, you don't see anything, but there's a way to actually turn that on so you can see the browser. So doc, we don't want that. It's like show or something. Yeah, show is true. So I'm gonna add that just as one of the options here. And alright, so this was done. And now, as always, when you do Airbnb ESLint, for whatever reason, I guess the latest version of ESLint doesn't work with the Airbnb ESLint or something. So you have to install older dependencies using this. So go ahead and run that, and this will have ESLint set up. And then we can go ahead and run this. And actually, we don't even need to have ESLint finish here before we run it, because that's just gonna check our code. So we can come in here to, not ESLint, but to our package.json. And here I'm gonna put start, and then I'm gonna say delete this, and I'm gonna say Babel node and index.js to run our application. So, and then I come over here, npm start, and okay, it didn't work. Let's see what it's supposed to do. It goes to Yahoo, gets the title. Oh, it's typing, it's doing a search. Alright, so let's see what's happened. I'm assuming yield. Oh, couldn't find the latest preset? Alright, let's look at our package.json. We definitely installed it. So something weird happened. Relative to directory mailer. Okay, so I'm just going to try installing it again. So yarn dev. Okay, so ESLint's done. Actually, before I do actually have this install while we're doing it, say Babel preset latest. I've done this before, so I'm not sure exactly what is. Same task as Babel preset. Please install it with npm preset save dev. Okay, if this doesn't work, what I'll do is we'll just try Babel preset env, because that looks like it's what they recommend using now. Alright, so we have, maybe it's, yeah, I think that's it. And if I can't get Babel to work, we'll just use .ven syntax, but yield is so much nicer. And hopefully we should be able to see it. So if we go to yahoo.com, we can actually see what this is doing. So you'll notice the syntax right here. This is selecting an HTML tag. So input title search. So if we inspect this, we can see the search bar probably has a title that matches up with that, I'm guessing. So input type text, and what was it? Title is equal to search. I don't see a title equal to search on this, which is what I would have thought they were selecting. And I don't even know if their example is going to work then, because the way they're selecting it is they're looking for an input bar that has a title of search Maybe there's a different one that's hidden or something. Or maybe I'm just missing it in these. I think there's a way to search for it. If I just say search, maybe. Yeah. Oh, I think I just saw it. Oh no, it's something else. This is in the CSS. I don't see any titles. So we'll run this. This might not work, so we'll try something else. Alright, that's done. I'm going to say npm start again. And give that a try. Alright, still doesn't work. I'm assuming same problem. Oh no, yield. Yield is a reserved word. That is very odd. I'm trying running this with Babel node. I have Babel node global, yeah. We should get the same error. Still. Okay. It's not liking yield for whatever reason there. Oh. Because I need to have this in like an async function. That's why. So I'm going to say const main is equal to async. Actually, we can just call this, make this an actual function. So function. I think you need to put async in front of it. I actually can't remember. Function main. And I'll put this in there. Tab it over. And then we're just going to call main. And if I come over here, I can see if the ESLint server started up. Alright, looks like ESLint server messed up. So whenever it crashes, you just have to restart this. And it'll come back up. Alright, now we should be able to run this. Okay. So it's not a problem with Babel anymore. It looks like it installed. Now I just needed to put in an async function. And we should get an error. Let's see what we get. Same thing. Maybe I'm doing async wrong. I definitely have done this before. Const main is equal to an async function. Let's see if that works. Really, still the same thing. Oh, what am I talking about? Yield is different than await. I was reading this as await, which is different. They're using yield. I don't know how yield works. Let's see if await works. Oh, and we need to import. Import nightmare from nightmare. I actually don't know how yield works with this. I'm not sure actually how to set up my environment to get yield to work. Okay, looks like we're working. Okay, so notice how we went to yahoo.com. This is pretty cool, right? So it starts up a browser, goes to Yahoo. Looks like it's trying to type, but notice how we're getting a rejection here. That's because I think it's having trouble finding this to type it in. So I'm going to close this. So let's actually find what the ID of this is and try it that way. So it's called a search bar. So I'm going to say ID is equal to a search bar. And now let's rerun this and see if it actually types it in. So npm start. Doesn't look like it's oh no, there we go. It's just a little bit slow. So cool. See how it typed it in? Same thing. Notice how it's trying to click, but then this probably isn't working. So let's see if we can get this to finish. Notice like you can just like complete the whole transaction. So button with an ID like this. So we can select this guy in a similar type of manner. So a button with ID equal to this. Alright, now do npm start. And so we should type it, and then after we're done typing, we should go ahead and click this. Nice. So we were able to type and then search. Alright, so we're done with Yahoo. Let's do our real example of what we want to do. So I want to come to this Jaap mail generator. So we're going to go here. Looks like, by the way, await is working okay. That's good. So after we await, what we're going to, or not after we await, after we go to this website, we want to click on check mails. So we're going to inspect and see how to select this guy. So it's an input. Oh wow, that's going to be, hopefully there's no more buttons that need a submit. So we're going to do submit. Okay, good. There's only one submit, so we can check by type. See how generic this is? It doesn't have an ID, a class, or anything. That can sometimes make it difficult. And what you have to do is have to like search for the parent when you're kind of like scraping like this. So we're gonna say button, and it's gonna have a type of submit. And I'm gonna get rid of this stuff. Alright, let's give it a try. So it should just go to the next page now. And it broke. So it was not able to find a button. Oh, it's an input, not a button. My bad. Let's try that again. So you'll notice this is pretty much the, if you see this unhandled promise, it didn't work. That's like your only indicator, and the error message is not great either. Cool, it worked. So next thing we want to click is this write button, right? And actually type the email address in. So check mails, and then we can see what this is. So alright, this is an anchor tag we want to click on with the ID of mail here. Oh, it's not letting me select it. Come on. Alright, WR mail. Alright, so we click on that, then we're going to come to an anchor tag with an ID of WR email. Actually, it wasn't email, it's just mail. Alright, I'll run this guy again. Then after we get that to work, we want to type into here the subject, so mail to, and let's watch it real quick, see if it worked. Click on write. Looks like it paused, looks like something might have broke. Yeah. See what we did wrong. WR mail, right? WR mail. What could have happened is we're clicking on it, right? Yeah. What could have happened is the page did not load fast enough. We're gonna run this one more time. So basically, unable to find that. Like we see it there, right? So one reason why is because the page took longer to load. See how it takes a second to load? It may be just a little slow to load. Nope, straight does not work. Alright, so it's possible the ID might be different here than it is in Chrome. So you can actually do inspect here. I know there's a hotkey for it, but I can't remember it. So electron, pull up, inspect element. How to inspect elements in a web brew. This is exactly what we want. There should be some kind of, I believe that there's a hotkey to bring it up. I can't remember. Hit escape and then type open DevTools. If you've got the main DevTools open. What are you talking about? How do I open the main web tools? Yeah. Electron has a built-in feature called inspect element. Electron hotkey to open inspect element. Enable with keyboard shortcut. No, we don't want Chrome. Maybe it's this one. I don't want to type an app like this. There should be a way to just open it. Alright, I'm gonna wait. I don't even think that's the problem. It should be the same. So ID is WRMail. WRMail is the ID. Target is ifmail. So WRMail, there's only one of them. Ifmail. Target. There's multiple targets with ifmail, but this one. Okay, notice also we don't have to click on this, right? We could just click on the href here, but notice how it says login. This might be a unique key that changes every time. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy you, and we're going to refresh and see what the value of it is. So if the value didn't change, we can go directly to the URL. We don't have to click on this link, right? So 5578 act in. Yep, same thing. Oh, notice how the URL doesn't change here? That means we have to click this button for it to work. Get element style display. Okay, so something interesting is happening here. The click is not working, right? We're not actually going to this URL, I think. What happens if we do this? Oh, that seems to work. Notice how the from address is up here. What if I just like change this to a Q instead of a U? Whoa, notice how it changes here. We don't even have to go through the process. We can just randomly put a URL here maybe. Guys, I just realized something that ruins my whole plan. They have a CAPTCHA right here. That's no good. That ruins everything actually. Now it doesn't work at all. Well, let's see if I can get this part to work, typing these in, and then I can try entering this myself. This is terrible actually. I didn't even realize the CAPTCHA. I should have done that. Alright, let's just go ahead and finish this though, because I can just type in the CAPTCHA myself and we can get this kind of working. Dang it, that's super sad. I should have looked for that first. But anyway, so we're gonna grab this URL. So after we click on this, we have our random. Actually, we could just go straight here, right? And then here you put in what the random random email address you want is. So you go to that, and then we basically want to type into these fields. So input ID mail to. Type input ID equal mail to. And what we're going to type is my email at email.com. You know, whoever you want to send it to. And then we can add a subject if we want. This is going to be mail SU. So input ID equal mail SU. And we're going to type my subject. And same thing for the last one. ID is mail txt. Alright, let's try running that. So npm start. We go directly here, we type in our email, type in our subject. Looks like we're breaking on the message. It might be a text area. Yeah, it's a text area, not an input. Okay. It's pretty cool to watch though, just like filling out forms for you. And there's actually a way to make it faster. You see how it's like kind of typing slow? I think there's a speed. Type interval. So the default's 100 milliseconds, which is really slow. But note, when you do this, I have tried this before. When you increase the type interval, or when you lower it so it types faster, it can get to a point where it's way too slow. Or sorry, way too fast that it actually doesn't type it fast. Or it skips letters, basically. But let's watch it type fast now. So bam. And also, if you don't want to see it pop up, you can get rid of show and it'll just run without popping this up. This is just cool to see, right? So let's try sending this to an actual email. So 10-minute email. Let's see if we can get this to work. So basically I need to find a place that generates random email addresses that doesn't need CAPTCHAs. If I can find that, then we're good. So change this email to that. And we'll do npm start. And let's try emailing to this. See if this works. So GA2. Incorrect email to... Oh, you can only send to Jaap email addresses? Oh, it doesn't even matter. That's kind of sad. Well, there goes that. I guess we can grab a Jaap email address. Check inbox. Oh, I can send it to myself. Yeah, it's the same email. Let's do this 59 or 79. We don't even need this. We can just at jaapmail.com. CMN. Send. Message sent. Okay. And now I'm sure it would send up here. Okay, so send email. Generate random email address. This is just a list of random email addresses. Free. See, we want something like this that gives us like a free temporary one. And that way I could just have it just like basically do what it's doing. So I was looking at these, and a lot of them just like so like for example this one, you can't send, you can only receive. I think that's a lot of them. So that's a bummer. Alright, I don't think this is gonna work, but at least you can kind of get to see the power of Nightmare, and how it has a lot of potential things you can do with it, right? Because I'm able to just control my browser and do anything. So I can actually log into websites and do whole things. Now, the nice use, if you want to do this besides just like automating your browser, something you can use this for is actually logging in to your own website, testing out your own browser and your own website, and that sort of thing. Yeah. Okay, this was kind of sad. This didn't work. I was really excited to get this working. I'll try to find a different one. Maybe there's another email place I can use that'll let me see. It's spammy what I'm doing, so it may not be. A lot of places might not allow this. So I think I'm just gonna end the stream here then. Unfortunately, we just kind of failed this video. There's just like, at least you got to see a little bit of Nightmare, but like I really wanted to get that would have been cool if we get the email working. I like making little bots like this and automating things. I might do more of this in the future. Hopefully I get them working though. But you know, with programming, it doesn't always work out as nicely. I should check. I need to just like vet the email next time to see if it's even feasible. So roadblocks come up like this with bots because people kind of like try to stop you. But yeah, tomorrow we'll go back to GraphQL. Sorry for the little detour. I just wanted to see if I could get this to work. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.